Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to see the concept of semiconductors and the types of semiconductors. Semiconductors. Semiconductor is a material that has intermediate conductivity between a conductor, that is, the type of material that allows the flow of charge, and a insulator, that is, the material in which electric current does not flow freely. Or in other way, we can say that whose electronic property are intermediate between those of metal and insulator. It also has 3-5 materials, since semiconductor elements are in group 3 and 5 of the periodic table of chemical elements. They have conductivities in the range of 10 raised to the power minus 4 to 10 raised to the power plus 4. Examples: silicon and germanium. See, we know that silicon and germanium are the best example of that because it has 4 valence electron which are distributed among the outermost s and p orbitals, and it also involves in sp3 hybridization. These sp3 orbitals form 4 covalent bonds of equal angular separation, leading to the tetrahedral arrangement of atoms in space. Tetrahedron shape resulting crystal structure is known as diamond cubic crystal structure. For MCQ point of view, just remember that the semiconductor lies between conductor and an insulator. The elements are in group 3 and 5th. It has conductivity in the range of 10 raised to the power minus 4 to plus 4. Examples are silicon and germanium, and it has hybridization sp3, arrangement tetrahedral, and is known as diamond cubic crystal structure. Just remember this. As you can see the image, here are some semiconductor devices, that is transistor, diode, capacitor, resistor, etc. Moving to the next, the types of semiconductors. Semiconductors are mainly two types: intrinsic, that is pure semiconductor; extrinsic, impure semiconductor. This is the flow chart of semiconductor. It is divided into two parts, that is intrinsic and extrinsic. In intrinsic, it is the pure form of elements. Extrinsic is subdivided into two types, that is N and P. In N type, it has pentavalent impurities. In P type, it has trivalent impurities. Let's see one by one. Intrinsic semiconductor. A semiconductor which does not have any kind of impurities behave as an insulator at 0 Kelvin and behave as a conductor at higher temperature is known as intrinsic semiconductor or pure semiconductor. Means all atoms are same. The best examples are germanium and silicon, and it lies in 4th group element. 4th group means it has tetravalent atom and contains 4 electrons in their vacant shell. As you can see in this image shows crystal lattice structure of silicon, and each silicon atom forms covalent bond with other silicon atom present in its neighboring area. It is same for germanium atom also. So hence both the element have 4 electron in the outermost shell. As the temperature of the semiconductor is increased, the electron gain more energy and thus break free from their shell. इस प्रोसेस के चलते वहाँ एक वैकेंसी क्रिएट हो जाती है जो दो बॉन्ड के बीच में होती है. फिर वहाँ जो इलेक्ट्रॉन रहता है इट्स गेट डिसलॉज हैज़ अ होल एंड वो एक पॉजिटिव चार्ज के इक्विवेलेंट होता है. देन द होल इज़ ऑक्यूपाइड बाय फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन. एज अ रिजल्ट द लेटर वैकेंट पोजिशन becomes whole and the former becomes a neutral position. In this way, the whole or the effective charge is transferred from one place to another. So, this is the working mechanism of intrinsic semiconductor. Moving to the next, that is extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductor are those in which impurities of large quantities are present. Usually, the impurities can be either third group element or fifth group element. Based on the impurities present in the extrinsic semiconductor, they are classified into two categories, that is N-type and P-type. Let's see one by one. N-type. The intrinsic semiconductor doped with pentavalent impurities, that is fifth group, are called N-type of semiconductor. For example, arsenic, phosphorus, antimony. Here are the mechanism of the N-type semiconductor. Phosphorus or the other column fifth element atom replaces silicon atom in the crystal lattice. Since phosphorus has 5 outer shell electrons, there is an extra electron in the structure. Material is still charge neutral, but very little energy is required to free the electron for conduction, since it is not participating in a bond. As you see in this image, that phosphorus is bounded by silicon atom, and we know silicon is of group 4 and has 4 valence electron, and phosphorus of group 5 has 5 valence electron. If small amount of phosphorus is added to a pure silicon crystal, one of the valence electron of phosphorus becomes free to move around as a surplus electron. When this free electron is attracted to the positive electrode and move, currents flow. This is N-type semiconductor mechanism. Examples are silicon, antimony, silicon, phosphorus, silicon, arsenic. And hence in this N-type semiconductor, electrons are majority carriers and holes are minority carriers. Moving to the next, that is P-type semiconductor. See, the both mechanisms are same, but the difference is that in N-type, the extra valence electron is free to move about the lattice, and in P-type, electron from the surrounding silicon move to fill the hole. The type of trivalent impurities, that is third group element, are called acceptor impurities, and the semiconductor dope the acceptor impurities are called P-type semiconductor. Let's see mechanism. Indium or the other boron group element has been added to silicon. There is now an incomplete bond pair, creating a vacancy for an electron. Little energy is required to move a nearby electron into a vacancy, like a moving bubble in liquid. As the hole propagates, positive charge is moved across the silicon. See, we know that in this, indium needs one more electron to complete its band. This electron may be supplied by silicon or thereby creating a vacant electron site. Then indium accepts one extra electron from silicon. Then the energy level of this impurity atom is called acceptor level. In this acceptor atom get ionized, taking electron from valence band, and thus give rise to the hole in valence band for conduction. Due to the ionization of acceptor atom, only holes and no electrons are created. Thus, holes are more in number than electron, and hence holes are majority carrier and electron are minority carrier. Example are silicon, indium, silicon, boron, silicon, gallium. Thus remember that in N-type, the extra valence electron is free to move about the lattice, and in p-type, electron from the surrounding silicon moves to fill the hole. Moving to the next, the energy band diagram. As you see this diagram, there are all three types, that is intrinsic, n-type and p-type. In intrinsic, there are valence band and conduction band. Valence band is completely filled and the above one is conduction band, which is incompletely filled. The gap between these two is called forbidden gap. When a semiconductor material is supplied to heat or applied voltage for of the covalent bond breaks, which generates free electrons. And in these two, there are between Fermi level, means the energy level which is occupied by electron orbital at temperature 0 Kelvin. See, when a semiconductor material is supplied to heat or applied voltage, few of the covalent bonds break, which generates free electron. Then these free electrons get excited and gain energy to overcome the forbidden gap, and the energy and the conduction band from the valence band. As the electron leaves valence band, it leaves behind a hole in the valence band. In an intrinsic semiconductor, there is always an equal number of electrons and hole will be created, and hence it exhibits electrically neutrality. Both the electrons and the holes are responsible for conduction of current in the intrinsic semiconductor. Moving to the next, that is n-type. You can see here the Fermi level is present near the conduction band because a large number of free electrons are available in conduction band because of the addition of the pentavalent impurity. These electrons are free electrons which did not fit in the covalent bond of the crystal. However, a minute quantity of free electron is available in the conduction band, forming hole. Okay, moving to the next, that is p-type of semiconductor. Here you can see there the Fermi level is present near the valence band because the trivalent impurity are huge in numbers of holes formed in the p-type. Hence, it has a majority concentration of holes and minority concentration of electrons in it, and it refers to the positive type. So, the Fermi level is present near the valence band rather than conduction band. So, this is the energy band diagram. And here are the two basic, that is valence band and conduction band. So remember that for semiconductor, the electron can have any one value of continuous range of energy level while they occupy the valence shell of atom. The band of energy level is called valence band. Within the same valency shell, but at slightly higher energy level, is yet another band of continuous variable allow the energy level. This is conduction band. Just remember this. And about impurities, remember that in n-type, the element replaces silicon atom in crystal with group 5 atom, and the substitution of 5 electrons from the 4 electrons in outer shell. There is an extra electron not needed for crystal bonding structure and can move to the other areas of semiconductor. Current flows more easily, and that is why the resistivity decreases and many extra electron is greater in n-type semiconductor, that is donor. And in p-type, the element replaces silicon atom with group 3 atom. There is a substitution of 3 electrons for 4 electrons. There is an extra electrons needed for crystal bonding structure, that is hole created. Then the hole can move to the other areas of semiconductor if electron continues fill hole. Again current flows more easily. In this the resistivity decreases and electrons needed more energy, that is the acceptor or the p-type material. So this is it. If you like this video, please hit a thumbs up and please do like, comment, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.